Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the KeithAndrewNetWork. I am your host, Keith Andrew. I'm here with the talented and beautiful Lauren McGregor. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, the honor's all mine. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. To never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and to prove to them you can break the labels. So hashtag break the labels.
I like it.
No, absolutely. Now, with that being said, it has to be a half hour of your time. It's got to be longer, but I got called into work, so everything got thrown off. So,
It's okay. I actually need to grab my dog because my dog is trying to be funny. Come here, puppy.
that's
Ziggy.
fine. Anything can happen live. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I was born and raised in the East Bay of California, like Oakland area, and then they moved me to the Valley. I have two older sisters. They're much older, and for the longest time, I thought I was probably an accident because my parents had me in their late 30s. Needless to say, I was not an accident. My sisters actually remember my parents sitting them down and telling them that they were going to try to have another child. And I'm sure that my dad was like shooting for a boy, but he got another redheaded girl. And I've always been different than the rest. I've been different than my sisters. I've just been different on just a regular scale. Ziggy, come back here right now. Sorry, I'm a mama now to a little black Cocker Spaniel, and he's the best thing in the world, but he is a little rascal. I'm just glad I have a big front yard. Come here, Ziggy.
Hey, anything you're making it happen live and make it more fun for an interview.
Say that again?
Oh, anything can happen live and it makes it more fun for an interview.
Of course, exactly. Hopefully he doesn't start chasing somebody, which he has done before, but he's sitting right now, so... But I was diagnosed with a learning disability when I was in, I think, first grade. I repeated first grade, and then they always told me I was special, but they didn't really tell me exactly why I was special. And, you know, how do you fail first grade? I mean, pretty much, I guess I cheated on my spelling tests. But that's also because I didn't understand. I didn't realize that I was dyslexic at the time. They found out that I was dyslexic in my 20s when I was going to college. And that was probably the big eye-opener of like, wow, now it makes so much more sense why I've always had these difficulties of not being able to read. And I comprehend things differently. And because of that, I'm able to see and hear things that most people are blind to. And that's what I've really found in this day and age, that people just kind of, they put the blinders on, and if you're not in the norm, you're not even in their view. And I've definitely been out of the norm, but I stick out because I'm a redhead. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. But I have ADHD and 3 forms of dyslexia. So it's my letters, my numbers, and my handwriting. I basically write like a 9-year-old little boy. That's how bad my handwriting is. I bought these special books just so that way I can improve my handwriting. I mean, it was that bad. I couldn't even read my own handwriting. But I basically taught myself how to read. I'm grateful that I had a fantastic high school teacher, Mrs. Remus. If you're out there, peace, love, and happiness. I love you, lady. You freaking rock. She was the first person to tell me that I might actually have dyslexia when I was a sophomore in high school, taking one of those tests that they love to give you in high school. My 2 older sisters, especially my sister Megan, she actually went to Oxford, England for college. So that's kind of what I was competing against in the sense. And that's very scary, you know, that she was able to achieve on such a high level, and that was my view of success. Of course, she never did anything with it. I'm the only one in my family that, when I was still in high school, I went to massage therapy school. I put my acting career and my love for entertaining to the side because I thought that because of my limitations, I wouldn't be able to succeed in that industry. I wasn't going to be welcomed. And it took me a lot of years of not giving a F I don't know if this is PG-13 or
No,
if this.
freedom of speech, self-expression, whatever you want to say, you do.
I cuss. I try not to, but I do. Um, but so it's been definitely interesting. Sorry, I make fun of myself a lot because I make weird noises. So does my dog, and I think he takes after me on that one because he makes noises that no human probably or no dog ever makes. But he's awesome. And you know, it's just funny how the world treats people because I don't look like I look different. I look, you know, I look like I can be successful at anything. And that's what my mom kept on insinuating to me, that I can do anything, that I have no limitations. And because of society, they kept on wearing me down. But my mom insisted that they're all BS, don't listen to them, and fight for your heart, fight for what you believe in. And I'm very grateful I had that foundation because not many people do. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional about my mom. She's going through some things. So, God, I love my mom so much. But life throws you curveballs. You go through bullshit. I mean, I've been homeless. I've gone through the ringer. Yes, I'm being a massage therapist. I broke my leg 3 years ago. And that in itself was difficult to take, you know. And getting my massage license, oh my gosh, I did a 720-hour course. I learned everything I could possibly learn about nutrition and about health, and I went down that road. I did really well at it, actually, and I've learned so much because I've been able to comprehend things in a different sense. Like I said, I can hear and I see things differently, just like I'm sure many of you understand that we have to pay attention at such a different level. It's almost like we're on a vibronic harmony that we can all talk about. I know it sounds a little strange, and people call me a kook just by talking about it, but I think only if you have a learning disability, you'll understand that we don't see things differently, and we almost like in tune to each other. It's like we in tune on the same frequency. We understand. And the rest of the world, they're kind of clueless, which kind of makes it our superpower. And if you can change just one thought in your brain and turn it into a positive, no matter how much bullshit gets thrown your way, you can overcome anything. And I'm a firm believer in that because I'm doing it myself. I've gotten back into the entertainment industry, which is my heart and soul. I've been doing it since I was a child. And my first time going into a comedy, which is the best part, DH2 Networks popped my comedy cherry in their comedy stand-up comedy night. I was one of their first people, and they didn't realize that I had never done comedy on stage before. But I think of my life as a big comedy act. Everywhere I go, I create a audience, and then I just talk about my crazy, wacky life because there's nothing else to do but laugh about it. Sorry, I'm like looking down to see, making sure my dog isn't trying to run away, but he's playing by a truck. I mean, that's just a little bit about me. Is there anything else you want to know?
No, I'm pretty much the same thing. I can write, but I can't write that well, and I'm a little dyslexic. Like, I can read a little bit, but then I feel like someone's twisting my brain, and so it gets like I can't do it. I can read, but then I kind of lose interest because I have ADD, and so yeah, I read and learn at a 5th grade level. I was labeled handicapped, retarded, handicapped, meant to be disturbed, retarded. I was never going to amount to anything. I was going to be a burden for people, and I was going to be put into a group home, all that stuff. So I said, screw it. I'm going to, keep it PG. I said, screw it. I'm going to show you it's a disability. You think I'm not going to amount to anything. I'm going to show you. Look at what I'm able to accomplish. and I'm turning a weakness into a strength.
I'm sorry if there's that noise. I'm going to try to move inside so that way I can get away from the people doing their... Oh my God, my dog just went around the house.
Hey, anything can happen live, right?
This is very true. I did it outside just because there's such great lighting, and then going into my house, it's not as light, but the backyard should be quiet.
It don't mind me. Yeah, I thought we were going to do our interview at 2. I thought we would have more time, so I'm just trying to make sure I have enough time to get... And that's another thing. Right now, my job's closing. I work at Toys R Us, and Toys R Us is closing, so basically... on my days off, they can call me in, I guess. They expect me to be like a dog. They snap their fingers and it's like, oh, well, guess I'm not doing any interviews today. I have to drop whatever I'm doing and run in. So, yeah, I called for a taxi about like 2:30, 2:40, so I'm kind of like making sure you have enough time and everything. But like I said, all my interviews are different. Once the job finally disappears, I can actually focus on what I want to do. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I just feel like, I give you an example. I had times where I would say, okay, I'm off today. Yes. You need me to come in? No. All right. Free interviews. Okay, can you come in today? Oh, God damn it. Oh, fine. And then they would get mad at me saying, you told me you wanted to do the interview with me today, but now you're telling me you have to reschedule, but I put things off myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
Anyway, but like I said, Toys R Us is supposed to be closing
No.
in a couple of weeks, and once they disappear, my focus will be on 500. Once I get to 500, I'm taking like a little break. Right now, if you go to the KeithAndrewNetWork.com, I'm playing all my interviews from the beginning. So all this week, you can see episode number 2 with Ron Reisman. The reason I'm playing it from the start is because most of my interviews don't get 100. So I was like, okay, why not do like a regular series to help them get the interview numbers up? So a week ago, this guy got up to 90. I'm like, okay, well, it's not 100, but it's 90, better than nothing. So this week we're playing with Ron Reisman. He's a music composer. He was from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He does the Thundermans on Nickelodeon. He was in a band. If you type in Power Rangers, his name will come up. And I'm trying to show people my early work. My early work is pretty much what this is. You see if I can get you on here. See, you see the reflection of you. This is what the camera had. So this was the camera, and I would record from the phone. That's season 1. Season 2 is, okay, here's the camera, and the same thing, records from the computer screen. Or records from the camera. Then my brother told me about Skype Recorder. Actually, I think he told me Skype Recorder or Zoom. I forgot which one he told me about. But then I came across Skype Recorder. Now it's cut in half. I'm on the right, you're on the left, or you can flip it. So if you're ever interviewing me, you're on the right, you're on the left. But I could have done this right from the start, Skype Recorder, even though I don't know how long they've been around, and it's kind of like I wanted to show people a process, recording, because I started with all phone interviews. I did 72 phone interviews. And people said to me, you have this great format. Why aren't you as big or bigger than you portray yourself to be? Why you have sponsors? I'm like, well, okay, would you like to help me with that? No, if you can't do it yourself, it's not meant to be. So I used to click off the buttons like, yeah, thanks a lot, asshole. I never used to say that, but I used to say it when I hung up the phone. One person said to me, do it over, try a different approach. And I got up to, fast forward to give you the highlights, I got up to 300, then little by little people weren't satisfied with the video quality or the questions I was asking, so they're making idle threats, we're going to sue you, we don't like the questions, it's degrading to be with people like you, I thought you would help me with my career, blah, blah, blah. So I said, screw it. I took everything down and I rebranded myself. I'm a big wrestling fan, if you can see. And I was originally called KeithAndrewNetwork Presents Uncensored. So if I'm being called Uncensored, I rebranded myself as just the Keith Andrew Network. And now I have permission forms for people who don't sign the permission forms. I want absolutely nothing to do with them. Because when I was taking people at the word the first time, that was my mistake. Because I got up to 300. Little by little, they're saying, yeah, take it down, or we don't want to be seen with you. So now I'm like, here's the permission form. I introduce myself. I tell you what the show's about. And when you sign it, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
And it's completely upfront, no hidden tricks, no scandals or whatever.
Well, first, it shouldn't be done just for success. Like, this is, yes, it could be a stepping stone. It's just another platform to put me out there. But this is something, especially for somebody who has disabilities, that is overcoming. Just like anybody else, we're all overcoming it. Anybody else with a disability, that is.
Yes.
So that in itself should be rewarding to help other people. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that.
No, I actually had one person say to me, oh, the reason I'm going to be honest with you, and this is how they talk, oh, I'm going to be honest with you, the only reason I did your interview was I thought it was a good charity case. Alright, if you want to call me a charity case, that's fine, whatever.
It's just about humans helping humans.
And I get that, and people say that, and all of a sudden, a little birdie will get in your ear, and then all of a sudden, oh, my publicist didn't give me permission. Alright, why did you agree to do the interview then? Oh, I thought you weren't serious. And I'm like, this June, I'll be completely honest with you, this June is my anniversary, and I asked my dad that, it's 5 years a milestone. And he said, yes. Don't mind me, I'm just fixing my glasses.
I get it.
And,
I have mine, but they're not going to do very good because it's sunny out here.
I asked my dad, it's 5 years a milestone. And I said, yeah. And so I was like, well, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been doing this 24/7. My brother can vouch for that. He's sick of hearing it. And I do this every single day, 24/7. I want to do this until I die. I'm not saying that to be cute. I'm not saying that to be funny. I found something that I feel passionate about. And eventually, I will get to the point where I will be a complete professional. Yeah, I will get my own studio. I will be qualified to do whatever, show people, hey, you're that kid with a disability. We're glad something worked out for you. Because whatever I do, I kind of, screw up on it. But this is the one thing that I find very passionate about. And I want to do this until I die. I don't know whatever way to say that, but I mean that. Because I'm very passionate about this.
Well, that's a good thing. Whatever you're passionate about and you're doing something that's really heartfelt and actually helping other people, other mankind, that in itself should be a reward. But the universe will definitely reciprocate that, because it's all, I don't know. I guess I'm on this love thing recently where I just feel that we need to kind of stray away from the hate and just go for love, because we don't necessarily need to be in love with everybody and love everything that everybody does, but just love and respect for individuals as themselves. That's kind of what I'm going for right now.
Absolutely. Now what we got to do is do a special short interview with you. But if you are free in a couple days, if you want to invite some of your friends to do a double interview, we can do a follow-up. But right now, like I said, I'm in a pinch because I was supposed it's work coming in and changing up and screwing up my plans. So all my interviews are different, but I am looking forward to having you back on the show and building a friendship with you. But wrapping up our show, my last two questions for you is, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction and what made you say yes?
Well, the first thing that came to my mind is, of course, I'm going to do an interview, especially when it comes to helping other people with disabilities, because, like I said, I'm a firm believer in help educating people and helping people realize that they are special too. And just because they're special doesn't mean that they can't do anything that they want to do. They want to freaking fly to the moon in some jet and walk on the moon one day. They can do it. Guaranteed they can do it. But they just have to put their mind to it, just like everybody else. We just have to get to do it differently and maybe even more special, I think. And I actually do have somebody I would love for you to talk to, but he's out in California, so he's nowhere near me. But he is a teacher, and I'll talk to him about you and see if I can link you two up.
Hey, let's do a group interview.
All right, that'd be cool.
Now, before we go, I do have a couple questions for you about wrapping up our interview segment. How can people follow you? Are you on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn?
I am on everything. In fact, some of them I have 2 accounts. So if you see a picture that looks like me and you're already friends with me, that just means I have another page. But I have Instagram, which is Lauren McGregor 8, LaurenMcGregor 8. And then I have my Facebook. I have my Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, although I don't have very many followers on Twitter. But that's okay, because I will get some eventually, right?
Right.
I also have my IMDb page, so you can watch my career grow as an actress. And it's slowly but surely getting more involved. And around Atlanta, if you're around town, Athens, there's a very good chance that I could be in the comedy show. And I'm also becoming a brand ambassador for Dior Brooks lipstick line, which as right now I'm wearing their date night collection. So if anybody wants to get this lipstick, they can actually get $5 off with my coupon code, which is Lauren McGregor. And they too can have beautiful date night lips. And it's like a matte, so it's really nice, actually. I love the lipstick. I've had it for a few days now, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw your video on Instagram.
Yeah, it's kind of silly. I made 4 different ones because of my 2 different pages on Facebook and then Instagram. And then I think I did one for LinkedIn, but for some reason it didn't go through.
All right. Well, wrapping up our interview segment, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
I look forward to it as well. You have a blessed day.
Very.
Arlene Schofield.
My name is Shireen Snow.
My name is Carla A. Miles.
Diana Camuto.
This is Christine Dunford.
I'm me, Eden.
Caroline Macy. This is Walker Fannin.
Buddy, I'm Camille Dixon.
I'm a Dates for them.
My name is Linda Presson, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Me, Mark Medley.
Hi everybody, this is Mark Neely.
Barry Babick.
This is Peter Bruno.
My name is Kyle Collier.
This is Julio Santiago, better known as Dynamite.
I'm Richard Epcar.
Lawrence Chow.
This is Kerrigan Mahan.
This is Goldar.
And we both support
Keith Andrew.
My name is Ron Wasserman, and I am supporting Keith Andrew and what he is doing, and you better do the same, or I'm gonna come kick your ass.